Good morning, everybody. It is Friday morning, May 31st. This morning was payday. I had two choices. Go to the grocery store or do a video for you guys. And you guys won. It has been some week. And I want to give you guys some positive encouragement if you're not already feeling it. I personally feel like there has been a weight lifted off of us, but I want to give you some things that I have been seeing and feeling in the collective that makes me think that big changes are coming. I also got my cards out today. I haven't had my cards out for months. And that has been nagging me for about a week there must be a message in here for all of us. So let's just talk real quick about kind of what's going on, and then I'll pull cards and see where we're at. Yesterday was a big day, if you know what I'm talking about, at the courthouse. So people are either feeling one way or the other. There is no in between. And now my nose is itching. Sorry. Oh my God. We'll take that as a confirmation. Okay, so again, if you did not see the video I did last week about the family stone, I'll hook this up so you can go watch it, because I will thread through that conversation occasionally. But so far, no news other than I got a message from a cousin of mine yesterday that had watched the video giving me her full support, which I already knew I had, but thank you very much. And some other stuff that has happened this week that lets me know that there are huge changes going on. One of them is one of the guys that I interviewed with him, and I worked with him in my office, my title office, for about 3 years. And during the busiest time, and he was always like one of the ones that when his voice just like would bring me down if I was having a stressful day. And it happened a lot. Let me tell you, during COVID and everything, we were busy. It was stressful. He was one of the ones that I could just talk to and instantly, it was just like, poof. He left last spring and went to a different title company, mostly because he was just tired. I think it was like feeling overworked. And because he had been there so long, he had been in many positions. And so he knew everything. Everybody went to Jordan for help because Jordan knew everything. And he was a young guy. He was in his early 30s, and he started working at the title company like right out of college, I think. So we got the best news over this week that he is coming back to work with us at a different office, the one down the street from me, but still with Meridian Title, which means I will still get to talk to him when I send him calls. And that was one of the biggest and best, brightest news of the week for me personally. So that tells me something is changing in the masculine energy. And one of the other things that happened that is kind of big, or I see it as like a big step, the neighbor next door had a car and it wasn't abandoned per se, it just didn't run. And in a conversation I had with him back in probably January, February, I'd asked him, I was like, what's wrong with it? Because every once in a while those little orange stickers would show up on it, and he'd peel them off, and I'd see him sitting out there smoking every once in a while. And it had license plates on it. I don't know if they were expired or not or whatever, but he just had said one day, I know he was looking to find another car, but he was like, I'm not putting any more money into it. And I think 2 days ago, today's Friday, so Wednesday when I came home, I realized it was gone. And there had been a sticky note on it on Monday. So I'm thinking they came and towed it away. I'm pretty sure that will not be back. He said he wasn't putting any more money into it. So that is another indication to me that something that is like chained around your neck, because that had to have been a burden for him. A car that does not run, You're not going to put any more money into it. How the hell do you get it like out of your way? And I don't know whether they towed it and he didn't know that was going to happen, or if they towed it and he had mentally decided, I'm done, you guys can have it. I'm not fighting for it anymore. I'm just take it, get it off my plate and get it out of my life and get that stress out of my way. So that happened, and of course last week I made the decision that I'm going to do something with that house in Palestine. So there are like unraveling of the stressful tendrils that have been going through our lives. So I would be very, very, very surprised if you guys were not experiencing something similar or seeing something similar and having big conversations with people. Because one of the tarot, I think I have two like tarot readers that I watch, and one guy I watch on Saturday, or no, I watch him Sunday and Monday, and I'm always a week ahead of his stuff. So when I watch his recording, I've already been through that. And last weekend, he was talking about a big conversation coming up. Well, I had my big conversation the Thursday before. So there is a collective energy that a lot of us fit into. And I just feel like there's a big, large ton of collective people that have had it up to here. They're not taking any more bullshit. They're not living their life like this anymore. And they are slowly but surely making changes to get to a better place. And that may be cutting people out of their lives. That may be cutting certain expenses out of their lives. That may be divorce. That may literally be a case of, I'm not living with this man or woman anymore. She or he makes me miserable. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing it. I'm done. I'm sure there are people out there that is experiencing this because I'm watching it. I am watching it all over the place. One last thing before I get to the cards. So I started seeds back in January, I think, in my bedroom and in water jugs, and planted them and stuck them outside with the little greenhouse. And I've planted them all. And this is what I want. This is the thing that I find the most interesting. I do not believe in coincidence. I'm pretty sure everything happens for a reason. I planted spearmint and lemongrass in one container, and I marked the sides, and I thought I had a lot of spearmint that was growing and the lemongrass wasn't doing so good. But I planted both of them when they finally started coming up and the weather got better. And I, last weekend, realized the one big giant pot that I have is going to town, and it is lemongrass. And I was like, oh my God, well, that's cool. What am I going to do with all this lemongrass? And when I looked it up yesterday, all of the meanings that it has in history, all of the things that it has been able to do, help with anxiety, help with this, help with this, help with this, help with this. I was like, I need every single one of those. Those are things that I have been struggling with lately. Probably you guys as well. If you're following me, you must go through some of the same things that I do. And when I looked at that list, I was like, that was no accident. That's no accident that my lemon balm is like going bonkers, and I am going to have a lot of that to use. So if you are a plant fan and you want something that covers a wide range of things, and a lot of historical value in it too. I'm like, look it up online. It's really amazing. A lot of the things that they used lemon balm for in the past. And I'm not just talking about health reasons. I'm talking about chasing evil spirits away and manifesting money and different things, Which brings me to another thing. I was going to tell you this. This is something that happened in the last 3 months that I somewhat feel that my apartment may be possessed at times, because there has been so much fucking shit that's happened in here that's weird. A month or two ago, they were changing batteries out and doing maintenance, and the furnace filter and this and that and the other, and And this is a big complex. So I was at the end of it. They started the week before, and I was like at the end of the second week. I think it happened on a Wednesday. And I park right out. I'm like right out my bedroom window. It's very, very close, which is nice. And I get out of my truck and I hear this beeping noise. And I'm like, what the hell is that beeping noise? Where's that beeping noise coming from? And the closer I got to my apartment, the louder the beeping noise got. And I open my apartment door, and my smoke detector in my bedroom is going off. And there's no smoke in my apartment. I mean, obviously, I would have known that if I walked in. I didn't leave anything going, so it wasn't that. And I was like, shit. So I had a little step ladder, and I got up there, and I'm like trying to shut it up, because you all have had those smoke detectors go off. You know how disorienting that is. I mean, it's like you can't freaking think straight when that thing is going off. And I'm like trying to shut it off, and I couldn't get it off, and I peeled it off the ceiling and like had it in my hand, and I'm like trying to shut it off, and I can't get it to shut off, and I'm trying to open it up so I can pull the battery off. I still can't get that fucker to shut up, and I can't get the battery out of it. And I'm like, crap. And so I'm like, I did manage to call maintenance somewhere in between, and I'm like going, my smoke detector is going off and I cannot get it off. So and it looked like it was brand new. So I figured they must have changed that out while they were in here that day. And so I can't get it shut off. I can't get it to quiet down. I stick it out on the patio. I can still hear it beeping loud. All the neighbors are going to be able to hear it beeping very loud. And I'm like, shit, I'm like, still can't think straight. And I finally got the idea. I had wrapped it in a shirt and stuck it in a shoebox. And then I took it around to the truck, and I have like a cover over the back of the truck and stuck it in the back of it. Kind of like a trunk of a car, only this is like a trunk of a truck because it's got that cover. So I stick it into the back of that, and that in a shirt, in a box, in the back of the truck, quieted it down enough that I could come back in and think and wait for maintenance to show up. So an hour and a half later, he finally gets back, because he called and he said, he's like, I got to turn around. I'm on the way home, and I got to turn around and come back on 465 in rush hour traffic, but I'll get there as soon as I can. So it was like an hour and a half later when he finally got here, and I met him at the truck, and I gave it to him, and he even had trouble getting it open. He's like the professional. He's the one that's been changing all of these. And I said, I'm like, has anybody else had this problem? And he was like, no. And he's like, we did all of those and all of those and all of those and all of those and blah, 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 blah. I was the lucky recipient of a fucking smoke detector that I still say there's weird stuff and some possession of some sort in this place, because there's just too many weird things that happen. And I was laughing, and I said, I think this place is possessed. And he goes, well, maybe you have a poltergeist. But this was the one thing that I got out of that, is like, I am divinely protected, but the dark still knows how to annoy the shit out of me occasionally. So that lemon balm, leading back to that, is one of the things that it helps for like evil spirits or whatever. And I was like going, well, I feel like I got those in here, so let's get some of that lemon balm and get the rest of these evil spirits out. Yes, I have saged. I've done lots of different things. I've got crystals all over the place. It's just, there's some sort of, I'm going to say, static electricity, large amounts of electricity, large energy gushes in this part of the building. Yes, I do believe it might be me. It might be all the crystals. It might be my light that's causing some of this fritzing out. It's a lot of effort sometimes to not lose your mind when you're fritzing out the grid in your little special world here. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to get the cards out here if you're still with me. And let's just see how people are feeling today about the news yesterday, about the court decision. I didn't even like really sweat it because, I wasn't expecting a miracle. I was expecting exactly what happened. And then I saw, something on Telegram this morning that was saying this now sets a precedence for every other president in the past to be this, and it was a list of 20 different things. So now we can go after their asses. And that's a good thing. As long as we get somebody in the court systems that will look at their stuff the way it should be, that's the only hiccup there is making sure that they look at it the way they're supposed to. So I don't know. You know what? We're in a movie. I'm watching from afar. Like I said, I didn't get upset, but I know there might be people out there that are flipping out about it because they don't know what's going on. Anyway, give me the current energy. I want to know what the current energy of the collective is. My collective, the people that watch me. Just talk to me about what is going on in their world. There's one that just flipped over, and it is the Justice card. Well, isn't that interesting? Justice. I know it's backwards to you guys, but that's the Justice card. What else is going on in the collective of people that watch me? What else is going on? What else is going on? I'm standing, so I'm trying not to shuffle these cards and have them like flip all over the floor. They're not wanting to come out very good. What else is going on? All right, there's two. The Ten of Swords. I mentioned that earlier. Everybody, Ten of Swords means you are done. End of it. There is no more bad of that aspect that can happen. You have had it. You are over it. It's finished. You're moving on. The next one is like a positive card. And then the other one that just popped up was the Queen of Wands. It was in my hand in reverse. What do we think this is? Because it was in reverse and I'm looking at that and she's looking at her hand, I feel like there's some of us still waiting for what we're waiting for and what we're looking for. So some of us are not seeing the changes. I'm just going to say, you may not be seeing the changes in your home front, in your life just yet, but I would like to assure you they are happening in the background. The chess pieces are being moved around. I can absolutely guarantee you, chess pieces are being moved around. Man, I got a frog really bad all of a sudden. So now let's just see what the emotions, what kind of emotions came out of everybody this morning. What's everybody feeling? There's one. Oh, hopeful. Okay, so and I feel very hopeful right now. It's like I feel like the biggest mental burden, that one's wanting to come out. Resentful. Okay, so those would be the ones that don't quite understand what's going on and they're mad because somebody got 34 counts of something and they're resentful. Well, don't be, because there's more to this story than you guys know. Here's another one. Some discouragement. So I knew that's what was going to happen. Overwhelmed is one of the energies. Peaceful, one of the energies. And regretful. So again, that makes total sense of how I was the weekend before, because my emotions were like all over the place. I was high and low and sad and this and that and the other. Partially because I feel like I funnel the collective energy and it's just a mishmash of all kinds of stuff. So it's no wonder people are losing their minds, because they're very off balance energetically right now. Let me pull a couple more here and then I'm going to be done because this is at 20 minutes and you guys are probably ready to be done with this. Let's just give me some last words of advice for everybody before I head off to work. We have lots of closings at the office today, and this is my favorite kind of Friday. Is when we're really busy. It's like having a big old party and having people come to see you. Last words from the universe for my people. I think I'm going to have to do a reading where I actually sit down at the table and instead of standing here, because this table's just not big enough. My old countertop at my old place was much better for doing this because it was wide. All right. We got, I choose to learn through love, and when I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. So, surrender is the name of the game at the moment. You know, it's like the more you resist, the more it seems like the universe buckles down and said, if you don't release this and quit resisting what we are trying to do for you, it's just going to get worse. So it's like, let go, drop it right now and just let it go and have a good weekend. I'm going to go to work and I will talk to you later. Bye.